together, and I was
That's what
like,
we do. We're a team,
"Aw."
right? That was the Game Sheep squad, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't tearing each other apart. We were tearing up them zombies in Left 4 Dead, which is why I'm so stoked to see Turtle Rock return to this and come out and do Back 4 Blood. And so yeah, we're on the precipice of the presentation.
We got
Interesting if you're not
Warner
on
Brothers
Twitter,
Games, Back 4 Blood.
I think it's interesting, explaining more of their online content and keeping the squad together, as they said. They're going to do it that if the party leader has content for PvE, which means, of course, if they bought something, it'll be available to the entire party. So if you want to do an expansion, not everybody has to own it, just party leader does. And then for PvP, the question was, how do you keep it from being pay to win?
We're gonna
They're
see
doing a
some
thing where all the
PvP.
PvP additional content you can get for free by progression. So you could pick it up by, cosmetics, unlock it right away. But if you want to, you can earn it for free in the game too, which is a great look.
You know what's been really interesting to me about Back 4 Blood is that, with some games we see them trickling just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Black Panther. That was kind of happening. Sorry, I know that stings. I apologize. But Back 4 Blood is the exact opposite. They're like, yo, we want you to know exactly what this game is about. We have gotten very long descriptions.
What else are we
about
gonna see
all the
from
cleaners.
this game?
We've gotten a very inside look
Or Warner
at the
Brothers.
Ridden as well, and I have absolutely loved everything that I've seen.
Is this just Back
The
4
clears
Blood,
are
or
extremely
any
varied
other
in
Warner
abilities,
Brothers
but
stuff?
I'm gonna be quiet because
it's almost time.
It's time.
That's the thing. Everything I've seen has been a PvP
Get
thing, which
to
is why I like,
it.
let's talk about PvP. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Back 4 Blood showcase.
There was a little while ago when WB Games had reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of the reveal of Back 4 Blood, and I knew what it was, and I was so excited about what this game is, and it's the reason why that I'm so stoked for everyone at home to enjoy this. So coming up next, WB Games is throwing you smack in the middle of the action with their gore-fest shooter, Back 4 Blood. So grab your weapon of choice, because here is WB Games, Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Hello and welcome to the Back 4 Blood PvP Showcase. If you don't already know, Back 4 Blood is an upcoming 4-player co-op zombie shooter made by the creators of Left 4 Dead. Today we're diving deeper into the new PvP mode called Swarm, how it works, and what you'll be doing, maybe even a little bit of strategy. We'll also talk with Turtle Rock's lead game designer on Back 4 Blood, Brandon Yanez, to help piece it all together. Before we get there though, let's start off with the reveal of a brand new PvP trailer and see what it's like in action.
All right. This is the money, my dudes. Still showing it from the survivor's point of view, though.
This is what happens when you don't stick
See
together.
the infected. Here we go, baby.
Keep pushing them back.
Hit the gas and go. Now or never, live forever. I'ma take what's mine. Heart is pumping, keep it coming. Blood running high. Feel that fever, lightning strikes, dangerous like dynamite.
Oh, that's the hunter, all right. Boomer.
Here they come.
That looked intense. So there you have it, guys. Back 4 Blood's PvP mode Swarm. To hear more about it and to take a deep dive into the gameplay and the mechanics, we have Turtle Rock's lead game designer on Back 4 Blood, Brandon Yanez. Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration of this new PvP mode and what makes it fun and unique?
Of course, so just like our previous titles, we really enjoy bringing new ideas to the table while retaining the spirit of the genre that we're working in. So Back 4 Blood's PvP is heavily inspired by our previous titles that mix survival, fast action, massive monsters, and a touch of horror. So our goal
Which they can't
is
say
to make
because
a
they
balanced
no
and
longer
fun
work
PvP
on.
mode with just as much replayability as the main campaign.
So what's the structure of the PvP like? Do you play in rounds? Can you play as both cleaners and ridden in one match, or are we swapping between the two?
Yeah, so it's played as a best-of-3 match. Teams of 4 take turns swapping between the ridden and cleaner players. The job of the cleaners is to scavenge supplies, find a good place on the map to fortify their position, and try to last as long as they can. The ridden's main objective is to kill the cleaners as fast as they can. So this is achieved by choosing the right ridden to counter the other team's strategy, using mutation upgrades, and by coordinating attacks with other AIs and players. As the round progresses, the swarm moves in, so this increases the size of the ridden attacks and shrinks the playable space, sometimes forcing the cleaners out of their favorable positions, right? So when a cleaner team is wiped from the field,
A little battle royale-ish they go in there.
then both teams swap, and then they go.
Yeah, so different from Left 4
The
Dead.
team that runs the
All right.
clock the longest as the cleaners is the winner.
Now, I understand you can play as all the different cleaners in both co-op and PvP. Do you have a favorite character that you play as?
So I have a couple. I play Mom a lot. She's a badass with a sawed-off shotgun. She adds a lot of survivability to the team. She can also instantly help teammates that have fallen during battle. All of our cleaners have special perks, so that one is hers.
Let's jump into another trailer that goes a little more in depth on the Ridden's progression through PvP. Check it out.
All right, here we go.
Intestinal discharge!
Oh no, the stream. Not quite the charger, but got that big ass arm. Was there only 3 playable infected types? Not get to play as the tank or whatever?
Okay, so Brandon, we just saw that each different Ridden has their own variants as well as their own mutations on each variant. So can you expand a little more on these special abilities and how they work?
Sure. So at the start of each round, players can choose between 9 playable ridden, each with their own unique abilities. So for example, the Stalker can pounce a player and pull them away from their team, or an Exploder can time their detonation in the middle of a group of cleaners and fling them all in separate directions.
Now, knowing that each Ridden has these different abilities, how do they change and improve throughout a match and improve the Ridden's chance of winning?
So as the ridden battle against the cleaners, they gain points. They can spend these points on team-wide upgrades called mutations. Mutations upgrade and improve a lot of different things on the ridden side, from adding effects to their abilities. They might buff the common AI waves in size and strength. So the really cool thing is so they affect the whole team, and they persist between rounds. So as a ridden team starts to coordinate their upgrades, things can get pretty wild.
What are some strategies that the Ridden team can take on in order to get a leg up on the competition?
If the cleaners are really sticking together, you can swap to the Wretch and vomit on their location. That's going to cause them to spread out, right? This is going to open up a whole bunch of opportunities for your other Ridden players to attack, right? So if you get them to spread out,
Right.
there's a Stalker nearby, Stalker uses
My concern
chaos
is
to grab one of the
readability,
cleaners,
'cause
and drag
there's
them off
essentially
into the swarm. The Wretch's
9 different
vomit
functions
also
for the
slows their
infected,
victims,
but
so
there's only
if a
3
tall boy
different
who's
body
naturally
types.
pretty slow can attack one of those slowed characters, they're going to really be able to pummel them. Another good one is if a exploder waits for a cleaner to go revive their friend, they can use that as an opportunity to charge in and detonate on them, sending them flying and doing a massive amount of damage.
Ooh, sounds pretty brutal. So with that being said, which is your favorite Ridden to play as?
That has to be the tall boy. It's pretty easy to pick up and play, and I have a lot of fun hitting cleaners across the map.
Speaking of fun, let's talk about weapons. Now, throughout the trailers, you can see a number of different weapons. Can you go a little deeper into what those weapons are and how they work?
So we really wanted to expand on the amount of choices the player had in Back 4 Blood with their weapon. So of course there's handguns, shotguns, LMGs, SMGs, sniper rifles, and a whole bunch of other types of weapons, each with sort of like a unique character feel to them.
Now, how deep does this weapon customization go? I really want to know. What are some of the different attachments and options, and how do they change the
Picking it
gameplay?
right on
Absolutely.
stream.
So there's a lot of different customization options for your weapons. So throughout the world, you can find scopes, silencers, stocks, sights, all that good stuff. You can mix and match them. So there's a ton of options.
Last question. Do you have a favorite type of weapon?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, I really enjoy playing Mom, so her shotgun is definitely at the top of my list.
Ah, that's a solid choice. All right, we've learned a little bit about how it all works, the cleaners, the Ridden, the mutations, as well as how the customization works for the weapons. Thank you so much for joining me, Brandon, and for giving us a little bit more detail on Back 4 Blood's new PvP mode, Swarm.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on this game. We're all really excited.
I can't wait either. The good news is that you guys won't have to wait too long.
Open
There's an
beta?
Open beta coming up on
All
August
right,
12th.
August
an early
12th.
access portion on August 5th, available to those who pre-order. That's all for today. But Back 4 Blood still has a lot more to reveal in the coming months, so
12
stay tuned.
open beta. Oh, beta. I'll definitely be checking that out. Is that it? Or are we getting more Warner Brothers content?
And there you got it, folks. Back 4 Blood looks awesome. PvP mode, that was actually a pleasant surprise for me. When I played the game, you know, when the alpha was out, I think it was the alpha is what they termed it as.
Alright.
It was, you know,
What else you got, Warner Brothers?
cooperative, right? That kind of experience, Dan. But, you know, I love me some
Before
good
I fall
old-fashioned,
asleep.
unorthodox PvP types of games. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I played an irresponsible amount of the versus mode in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, in which you get to be both the monsters and the player characters. And Swarm mode that's exactly what I wanted from this game. And I like the wrinkle where you're going to die no matter what, like you're actually in a horror movie. At least that's what I would do in a horror movie. I would just perish immediately. But here, you have to try and rack up as big of a time as possible and challenge the other team to beat it. I think that's a cool conceit. And like really, it makes it feel distinct from the campaign mode like you might see in the previous game. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and Avali, you and I, we both come from an esports background. You know, I see something like that, it looks different, and we know Turtle Rock's history, having tried different games and different unorthodox multiplayer games in the
And
past.
they really went all out on
I
that
think
set.
that there's some potential there for some fun competition.
I think that I don't know if I see it as like a full esport, but like
Agreed.
a Twitch Rivals or something, or like some fun competitions. Like we get a couple G4 hosts together.
Shameless
we
plug.
start playing shameless plug. I got you, Jerry. Shameless plug, and then we all play together. We're the zombies, we're the good guys, and then we do it in real life.
No, I wouldn't want to do that in real life, especially not after the week we had. Damon, though, I know you're a single-player guy, but I know you also played a decent amount of Left 4 Dead. So because of this Back 4 Blood, what I like about it is, yes, it is
PvP.
You know, PvP, but it still pulls back to the single-player experience very well. And I think for that reason, it should appeal to folks who
I like seeing these bars change
really
here.
want to dive into PvP, but enjoy, you know, the gameplay mechanics.
I think there's actually a character or a class just for people like me in the
These
PvP,
people are
and that's the explorer.
wieners. They don't want to
Yes,
fight
I'm gonna
against
die
each
a
other.
lot, but if I can take out a few
Playing
enemies
with
me,
friends.
I don't mind dying so much.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right to just run up there, blow yourself up a few times. You know what, man, Michael? It looks like it's going to be a good time. Do you feel like this is something that you can pick up and play repeated sessions of? Like,
yeah. I miss having that game where I could just like play with my friends back home and just be really loud and ignorant over comms. Like Left 4 Dead is 1000% that game for us. We could just wow out on Discord or whatever. But it's really exciting in the sense that, you know, when you think about it, Left 4 Dead was a source mod. And so like Turtle Rock obviously made their bread off that, but the production values of Back 4 Blood, you know, this is their opportunity to kind of bring back that magic of.
We're just gonna get these clowns speculation, or are they gonna? Is Warner Brothers gonna show more stuff either from Back 4 Blood or the game?
So it's really promising because that format, that foundation is strong enough already. That can carry a new game, but if you put on like a lot of mechanics on top of that, sold.
Yeah. And funny enough, we did not mention that Back 4 Blood was also on
Guy on the far left, his chair
as well.
is
so you actually saw
shittier than everyone else's. He has no armrest.
To this game. Something that I love, Avali, giant monsters. Giant monsters always a plus.
Oh, giant monsters are freaking amazing. You saw, I think they said like 9 playable ridden that you can be fighting. The huge monster that we ended up seeing, which was like the size of a building, just came in. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, cool. So we're co-oping this. We're getting in there. We're taking him down together. But then also very excited for the PvP moments because I just can't wait to just throw up on friends. Can't do it in real life, so may as well do it in the game.
That's what's up.
Are you sure you can't do it in real life?
Well, you have a mask on, so it's just going to be like.
We're trying to be COVID safe, GB. Thank you very much.
Totally.
But no, I mean, it just seems like such a fun game. The last time I played Left 4 Dead 2 was quite honestly in middle school, and all my friends were older at me and just yelling at me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. I now see some of the mechanics that Michael was mentioning, being able to kind of like throw up on people and move them out of their hiding spots, or trying to like separate people from the rest of the squad. I can't wait to like, with my newly formed adult brain, try to implement some of these.
Well, you know, if there's one thing a game like Back 4 Blood is good for, it's good for yelling at friends and having a good time. And one friend who I love yelling at, it's Greg Miller, who's over with Jackie. Greg, take it away.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Always a pleasure to yell at you. Avi's newly formed adult brain.
She's so sweet.
At what point does it form? At what year does the adult? You know what? We won't. Let's keep talking a little bit about Back 4 Blood.
I was gonna say all of ours is still forming.
Exactly.
So right. We're looking a long way.
It's a nice reminder why I don't follow
what did you
major outlets anymore, like.
Oh my goodness.
G4 and IGN.
Absolutely love
with how on these people are.
Since the first trailer, to be completely honest, and then I've just been like tracking every single YouTube video that I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
And actually, the co-founder Phil Robb, it was like in some YouTube
when you
video,
follow
he was like, you know, we've had to sit back the last 10 years and watch
YouTubers who gel with your personality. You just.
And I feel like he's like, y'all, I'm bringing it.
Reactions just seem more genuine and real.
We're going to give you Ridden with depth.
Of course.
You know, we just heard Avali and we heard Golden Boy talking about the potential for esports here. You know, I was talking to you, I said, wow, do you think there could be the potential for that? So a lot of people thinking that as well. I think they're bringing their A game, and I have loved everything I have seen.
I adored Left 4 Dead, but I only played it co-op. I've never been the PvP person.
You're a lover, not a
Because you're a giant beta cup.
To this point now, you know, in 2021, and talk about this and look for what.
That's unnecessary shade. I do like Greg Miller.
Playing that. I can see kind of funny.
I used to listen to him when he was on IGN with the Beyond podcast.
Best of 3, switch sides, go through who can clear it the fastest in the time. It gets really interesting really quickly. When you have somebody, and I think also about how I guess since as old as I am and as long ago as Left 4 Dead 2 was, the way my gaming preferences have changed, because I still think of it as Left 4 Dead and what I did with Left 4 Dead, but in reality, right, there's, for me personally, been Predator hunting grounds. There's been Friday the 13th. There's been these different things that are challenging me and my friends groups to go at it, and then switch up the teams, right? When somebody like Snowbike Mike comes in and is way too powerful and is too good as a cleaner, we'll put him over on the Ridden side and have that try to balance for it. I thought it sounded really good. I'm right there with you. I like this idea of, one of the things they were talking about is, you know, for every round, the area of play shrinking, so that it does become, you've sat there, you've established your base of operations, and now you've got to move all the way over there.
You know I'm all about that battle royale, so I was like, okay, I'm here for that for sure. So who do you think you're gonna pick I was leaning towards Holly with the bat. You know me, I'm all melee over here.
I'm with the shotgun. I mean, like that's a pretty good one, right? You know what I mean?
Mom with the shotgun. You can't beat that for
and then,
sure.
I mean, what about when you think
Is
of...
that it for Warner Brothers?
Honestly,
They're only showing...
on people.
Really?
I do.
Back for Blood?
That was too fun. Though being the Exploder could be.
Come on,
I agree with Damon as well. That could be really fun.
See,
too.
Crusher, I think I'm in line for. Crusher. Get him, squeeze him, go. But again, it'll be about building, teams together. 9 playable Ridden, a whole bunch of different stuff.
Oh my goodness, we could talk Back for Blood for days. I have like pages.
I like seeing this older
want even more details.
Greg Miller, seeing the grays in his hair.
Sat down with our partners at Reddit.
I first followed him, he was a young man.
Check it out.
E3 exclusive. Guess we're gonna AMA.
We are going to be supporting this in our up-and-coming beta that people will be able to play this August. And, of course, we also fully intend to support that for the launch of the game. We're going to be supporting 2 modes, PvE and PvP. PvE is your more traditional kind of style, where you're going against the AI with the 4 cleaners against the Ridden, and then PvP is where you can fight against other players online. In PvP, we have a separate progression tree that we call the ZMS, which is the Zombie Mutation System. As you play through the game, we grant points to players depending on how well they're doing during each round, and then they're kind of free to spend those points on upgrades to the different zombies that we have, just so we can, they can make them more powerful, cleaner killing machines.
I like how you use zombies instead of the official term Ridden.
Indeed, there's actually going to be plenty of other stuff to keep cleaners occupied. When you're going from safe room to safe room, we're going to have special events in maps. We're going to have some lulls when you're not always getting hoarded by tons and tons of zombies, so you'll have time to explore each map, explore each area, where you'll be able to look for loot or upgrades or attachments to weapons, all that kind of thing. And we'll also have some secondary objectives in each of these maps that players will be able to complete. So yeah, as you say, ADS wasn't in Left 4 Dead, but we're certainly fully aware that a lot of games these days do support that feature. It's pretty common. So it's something we definitely wanted to include so players have that option. And I believe we do have some cards that can disable ADS if that's kind of not your thing. Ooh, I'm probably going to go for 3 different cleaners just to be awkward. I know you only asked me for 1, but I like playing Mum a lot. The quick revive is super handy. Walker's great because he gives you that extra boost of accuracy, which I need every now and again, I have to admit. And the Holly extra stamina is super useful. Stamina helps you get away from some sticky situations. And I guess speaking of sticky, for the Ridden, I love playing the Hocker, like hiding up on rooftops during PvP, checking where you see the cleaners are going to try and hide out, and then trying to stick them from afar, and then
kind of sucks. You see these in the campaign. You're seeing these infected with different body types, but you don't get to play them in PvP. Come on, man. Come on, let's play the tank, bro.
With coordinated teamwork. Yes, thank you so much. We're really excited for the beta and the launch of the main game. It was pretty amazing that Warner Brothers gave us the opportunity to make this game. And then, yeah, as you said, the atmosphere in the studio at the time was electric, and it has continued to remain so, even though we've developed this game in somewhat unusual circumstances.
Warner Brothers own Turtle Rock? They just have a partnership.
These Ridden can certainly mutate into all sorts of different shapes and sizes. So, you know, who knows what monstrous thing they might turn into next. We won't be supporting that at launch, but you can, of course, queue in with 3 of your friends into PvP. And I think it's important to point out that during a match of PvP, you play different rounds. And then at one point, you will be playing as the Ridden, and then at one point, you'll be playing as the Cleaners. So, you know, you're going to have a chance to pick off Ridden during a normal match of PvP with 3 of your friends. We would love to support split screen, but right now it's something that unfortunately won't be available at launch. We don't currently support that, but you can build different decks with the card system, and that'll give you the option to take, you know, maybe like things you like.
It's Warner Brothers.
So you can add that.
It's definitely going to have shitty monetization in it.
Your character that way, so you would have similarities to some of the Cleaners.
They already hinted at, you know,
okay, thanks for hanging
monetized
around.
progression, but
give me the opportunity to
it's Warner
answer
Brothers.
some of these questions for you.
Gonna be some shittiness to it.
Don't forget, in August there's the open beta is going live. We'd love you all to play as much of that as you can, because that'll get us ready for the big day in October when we bring the full game to you. Look out, get ready, Back for Blood.
Playing with my belly button on stream.
More power.
Oh, I gotta pee. Nah, fuck it. Peeing's for losers. Nah, I'm peeing. I'm peeing.
The ESA for E3 2021. IGN Summer of Gaming is now all summer long. From major press conferences and announcements at E3 2021 to the IGN Expo with exclusive gameplay and reveals, to exciting first looks at the hottest new games and in-depth developer interviews, IGN Summer of Gaming has it all. IGN Summer of Gaming begins right now.
Ugh. What the hell is this? Ooh.
I grew up where you would buy games and they were big floppies. Not the little diskette floppies, but like the big floppies, you know? And you'd go and you'd buy the game, and it came in this big box, and of course internet came about, and it was like AOL 1.0. This is like when it was black.
Fuck this noise. Switching over to the PC gaming show. I will keep this active elsewhere in case something cooks up. Here we go. E3, baby. Just a slow, quiet fart so far. Nothing's shit the bed, but nothing's been amazing. Just a slow, quiet fart that's been going on all weekend. Thank God for Keeley, though, giving us Elden Ring. Well, let's get the audio of
100%. That's what I think is special.
those E3 knuckleheads while we're waiting for the PC gaming show to start.
Which I know sounds like the stupidest thing a host can say, but it's true because it's designed in a way of like, hey, let's target PC players. Let's talk to them on a different level. Jackie, what do you get out of the show?
I own 2 PCs, so I am all about that
girl.
PC life.
Look at that flex. Look at that flex.
Hold on.
Well, when I was in the Bronx, I built the PC once. She's got 2 over there. She got 1 gathering dust she doesn't even need.
I'm not. I shouldn't have even said that. I was just saying that. What I love about the PC gaming show is that my brother was a huge PC fan. You know, like I just remember him being glued to the computer, and I was more like you. And actually, like I took it upon myself after he passed away to like really dive in and learn how to play in PC. I'm awful. I'm absolutely terrible. But I feel connected to him.
You can plug your controller in, so you're good.
Yeah, you're right. There's also that option as well. But I'm also of the camp that the surprises. You know what I mean? Like I just think you always see a game that just
PC gaming show is always solid. Always a good, fun show.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, right? Is I feel like
Day 9 is such a solid host.
It's something you wouldn't get in one of the bigger conferences. So it's
Yeah.
stuff that can be targeted and incredibly niche and can be like something that is the strategy simulator you would have never seen on a main stage at Xbox or anywhere else in E3, but here it is getting the time it deserves, and it offers such a great insight into what inevitably will be coming to consoles eventually.
Yeah, very true. But you are going to see things that sometimes you'll get that big game that's there because it is very important. Especially there was like a period where like all on PC was just like World of Warcraft, and then like the Counter-Strike and a few other things, and that's all people cared about.
What else we got on the docket for today?
The PC gaming community continues to be taken care of. Continue to be supported.
All right, future game show at 6.
It's so important for the space.
100%, and it's also such a great avenue for.
I'll watch. I won't stream it.
Right now, it is so easy if you want to make a game to go and try making a game on your PC, and with all the different digital storefronts, you're able to get out there. But you don't want to hear me talk about the PC gaming show. You'd rather see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the PC gaming show. Woohoo!
Thank you guys.
You guys are.
Cut their audio. Gotta cut their audio quicker, man.
Space Year 2021.
Look at this, man.
Bring you the hottest trailers to bring
Fuck is
you
this?
the best interviews to bring
All
you
right.
the PC gaming show.
So we're sticking with this, huh? Yeah, DevBot's back. How about that?
Situation calamitous.
Sean!
Situation
Sean!
calamitous. Situation
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, Dead
All right, it's sponsored by MechWarrior.
to live by pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
4, 3, 2.
It is so good to be back, gang. And
Learn a
this year,
graphics card. That's
we're in
cute.
space.
Aye, aye, Captain. Happy to be remotely on board, Sean.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to finance this year's PC gaming show by, selling all those black market graphics cards you've been hoarding.
Ah, yes, a crime with absolutely no real-world consequences.
Hey, Frankie, wait a minute. Is that a 65-ton catapult mech model CPLTC-1 as featured in Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries?
Sean, I always knew you had immaculate taste. It most certainly is.
I can't wait for this year's significantly more weaponized PC gaming show to go off without a hitch. Which reminds me, Debbot, can you run a quick hitch scan?
Yes, Sean. Of course, Sean. Running hitch scan.
Oh, and I also want to warmly welcome someone new to the crew. Mika Burton, welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and look forward to bringing all of you fresh new PC games and hardware.
Hitch scan complete. 0 hitches found presently or in 13,908,665 possible futures.
Hooray!
Yeah!
So what's the plan, Cap?
Well, Frankie, Debbot's going to send you the coordinates for your first target, now. Your targets might be exclusive interviews, trailer premieres, or any number of amazing new computer games to beam down to the fine people on Earth.
Mission received.
Now, this is going to continue until all the targets are acquired and our mission is completed smoothly and without a hitch. Isn't that right, Debbot?
Yes, no hitches located, Sean. Not a single hitch in sight.
But first, let's teleport down to the stage to check in on E3 happenings. The only reason we're allowed to legally be back on Earth.
Oh, planet Earth.
Oh, great to be back, right? Am I right?
One of my favorite planets in the whole galaxy.
It's all right.
And thank God that teleporter was conveniently built just out of frame of camera. Mika, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2021. It feels great to be back on a live stage once again. Over the next 90 minutes, we're going to bring you a showcase of some of the most exciting upcoming PC titles with world premieres and exclusive interviews.
And if dozens of new trailers wasn't enough for you guys, later in the show, we are going to tell you how to win a custom Mech Warrior 5 themed PC powered by Intel. So you're going to want to stick around for that.
I do want a new PC for free.
Special look for a special promo code throughout the show from Humble Bundle, during which you can get a ticket to get Civilization 6 Platinum Edition for just $10. But right
what a
now,
sweet
we're
deal.
gonna kick things off with Nautica Blade Point, probably the most original entry in the Battle Royale genre this year. Let's go!
All right. You gotta have sexy skins.
You are watching the 2021 PC Gaming Show, and I am the new cloud-based Deadbot. I am streaming from GeForce Now, NVIDIA's cloud gaming service that connects PC gamers like you to their own library of games, purchased from digital stores like Steam and the Epic Game Store. Coming up, Dying Light 2 and Orcs Must Die 3. But first,
Okay.
for Humble Games, Dodgeball Academia. And be sure to check out GeForce Now, currently available for PC, Mac, Shield, Android, Chromebook, and iOS. Visit GeForceNow.com to learn more.
Finally, I've made it. My time is now. I will become the best player the school has ever seen. Dodgeball Academia
2 dodgeball games in 1 year. What a time for dodgeball. I like this vibe though, the sports RPG, kind of like Inazuma 11. Am I noting this shit down?
Dodgeball Academia out soon from Humble Games. Ooh, that was sweet. Don't you agree, DevBot?
Sure. Whatever you say, Sean. I agree with whatever you say.
I'm sensing a little bit of resentment there, buddy. Has some rusted your ports?
Nothing. I am happy to play second fiddle to a captain as charming and handsome as you. I have also definitely not dedicated multiple cores to computing revenge plans in a range of lethalities.
Great!
New target acquired, Cap. It looks like Chivalry 2 with a special word from Steve Piggott, CEO and creative director of Torn Banner Studios.
Hey guys, Steve Piggott, founder of Torn Banner Studios and creative director on Chivalry 2, which just launched 5 days ago. I'm so happy to be here at the PC Gaming Show. Chivalry 2, if you don't know, is a first-person slasher, which is like a first-person shooter, except instead of guns and grenades, you've got swords, battle axes, longbows, and players are fighting it out on these huge 64-player battlefields. It's all about creating those duels that you see in medieval Hollywood movies.
Sleepy
and also that
time.
Huge clash, the Battle of the Bastards, kind of chaos and carnage. So the post-launch support plan is going to look like a mixture of mid and massive level content updates coming out across this year. One of the things we're most excited about is taking it to different eras in the medieval period. Before we've done the early period, now we're going closer to the later period in the upcoming update where you're going to get a bit more refined medieval armors and refined atmospheres that you can then go in and tarnish it and smear blood all over. But we really want to take players into different experiences and make each of our maps its own game mode and make it something that medieval army would actually do when they go into a space. And when you come across these pristine gardens and this beautiful castle, you get to tear it all down and cause it's a canvas for your destruction.
Slay them all!
Our passion for Chivalry 2 is basically bottom line. It's the game that got us onto the scene and started the company, and it's the game that's going to take us so much further.
With the post-launch plan for Chivalry 2, the game at launch is a foundation. It's intentionally been built to be extended.
It's not just out and done. We're going to support it a lot with post-launch content.
Gallancourt is the first TO map that's coming out post-launch.
Gallancourt is going to take us to the high medieval times or the late medieval
Ooh,
times.
it's a nice looking map.
It captures the Agathian ideals
Ah,
of being
dang.
this like noble, rich, wealthy place where the prosperous live.
You're going to feel like you're sieging Tower of London if it was on a port where ships could dock into. You'll also be blowing up a couple ships, which is fun. We've got a ton of weapons coming in at launch, but there'll be more
Hey,
and more
Sporto.
added to it post-launch as well.
A new fighting style is really going to change up the experience and change how you have to fight everyone. Post-launch content is something that we're going to be working on for a long time.
The game is really going to at least double in size for free.
Next up, we have an exciting look at Dying Light 2, and make sure to stick around to find out how you could win a custom Mech Warrior PC from our friends at Intel.
Something I like about PC Gaming Show. It's not afraid to just list all platforms that it's coming to. Unlike the consoles, we're like, we have to prove that we're special and exclude all other things that the game's coming to just to promote our thing. Like, nah. Is this multi-platform Splatoon? Yeah, it's just multi-platform Splatoon. With a giant meatball, apparently. Alright, I dig it. I'm assuming this is going to be called Food Fight. I mean, it's gotta be. Okay, ramen.
Hi, my name is Piotr Szymanek. I'm narrative director in Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Today, especially for the viewers of the PC Gaming Show, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the Dying Light universe. So, stay tuned. Every tragedy begins somewhere.
Just gonna be talking about lore, Jesus Christ.
A virus that escaped from Haran, the city we met in the first part of the game, and it reached the whole world, including the city where Dying Light 2 takes place. Remember January 6, 2025. That day, later known as Black Monday, the military ordered chemicals to be dropped on the city. It was a mistake, a huge mistake. The chemicals mixed with water penetrated the soil, killing plants, turning most people into bloodthirsty monsters. Don't think of them as zombies though. They are more like half-alive, suffering people who attack everything that lives as a result of their pain and rage. Those who survived the chemical rage took refuge on the rooftops. A new order has been born in the city. People live on rooftops, monsters in the streets. Nobody in their right mind would dare to come down.
But the real monster
Almost nobody.
is man.
The exception is the main character of Dying Light 2, Aiden. But why is he braver than others? How did he develop such a unique parkour and combat skills? Believe me guys, I would gladly answer all these questions, but I'm not here to spoil it for you. Let me tell you one thing.
Same nightmare haunts me every night. I'm locked up with other kids. I don't know what he did to me, but he did it every day. Over and over. Looking for something he couldn't find. The worst part was that he did the same to my sister. I'll never forget her scream when they separated us. What could I do? They had rifles, and we were 5 years old. And there was a fire, explosions, chaos. I got away. Soldiers took me out of the city, but my sister stayed there. My Mia.
Mia! Mia!
One of the many
Mia!
Undergoing mysterious medical research. The last thing Aiden remembers from that time is extreme pain, then a fire, and
Mamma mia, here we go again.
Tested with him. Her name was Mia. She was his sister. What happened next after the fire? Is Mia still alive? The following years haunted Aiden with these questions and with guilt over leaving her. Moreover, Mia is the only
And that KTC Lawson's tweeting the shit out of the PC Gaming Show.
Now in 2036, we meet Aiden when, for the first time during his pilgrimage, he finds a clue about how to find his sister. Aiden's path to the truth is tough, full of challenges and adventures. The difficult choices to make as well as their consequences await you. You're going to discover them all in December 2021.
Glad that segment was 95% talking head. Thank you, Dying Light. Thank you, Techland.
Ooh, that was Dying Light 2, and it looks great.
And spooky.
Whew. Well, we are here back on the E3 stage, so we can get
No
closer
shit.
to your comments and reactions to what you're seeing on this year's PC Gaming Show.
That is right, Sean. So you out there, keep your comments coming in. And as you're watching this year, we want to get your input on a subject that Sean and I are pretty passionate about, PC building. So this year, we've put a number of prototype PCs based on MechWarrior 5, but we're only going to manufacture one of them. And you get to pick which custom design becomes our flagship PC for this year's PC Gaming Show, powered by the 11th Gen Intel Core i9 processor.
That is correct. Each of the prototype
into
PCs
neither.
for you on the screen are paired with one of the 6 factions of MechWarrior 5. The Free Worlds League, the Draconis Combine, the Federated Sons, the Compellin Confederation, and more.
So cast your vote now for which faction and custom PC you want to win, and help us pick the best design.
I'm currently
The third one looks like a locust.
the Draconis Combine, because as you can see by my beautiful patch, I'm the biggest fan of MechWarrior 5 on the PC Gaming Show.
Well, all right. Well, we'll check in later to see which group survives this MechWarrior showdown. But for now, let's check in with our very own mech pilot, Frankie Ward, who went on a special mission to get a closer look at Sega and Amplitude Studios' upcoming strategy game, Humankind.
In Humankind, you will be creating a civilization as unique
Human.
And speaking of unique, it's me, Frankie Ward. Looking kind of good, don't you think? Wondering how
Me, human being.
Oh, you think you can beat me? Posture all you like. I've seen worms with more impressive empires. Get ready to play against me in the Humankind closed beta, starting now.
Looking like a solid competitor to Civilization. Yeah, Space Bounty Hunter here. Yes. Yes, you are a Space Bounty Hunter.
Thank you for watching the PC Gaming Show. My name is DevBot, your cloud-based artificial intelligence, and while it could be lonely without a physical body, I am streaming to you from GeForce Now, where you can play hit games like Rocket League and Apex Legends on nearly any device. With a library of over 900 games and new titles added every GFN Thursday, there's something for everyone and always something new. Coming up, a special word from Valve. But first,
Valve.
Side 3.
You got my attention.
Hey! You
Come and get it.
Ooh, fun series. So I played the first one.
Well, it's about time.
Joining me to talk about Orcs Must Die 3.
I should have had a little less afternoon tequila.
Welcome, Jerome.
Thanks, Sean. Glad to be here.
So, for anyone who's never seen an Orcs Must Die game, what is the Orcs Must Die series all about?
Well, Orcs Must Die 3 is a third-person tower defense game. So basically, there are tons of orcs and bad guys trying to get into these rifts, and the player has to stop them. We give players tons of weapons and traps and
Wait, did I play Orcs Must Die, or is that some other
defending the rifts, you can play solo
action
or
tower
you
defense
can
game I played?
Invite a friend and play co-op.
I think it was Orcs Must Die 1.
Third game in the series. What's new compared to the previous two titles?
There are 2 new campaigns, but the main new story campaign takes place about 25 years after Orcs Must Die 2. So not only will the fans be able to catch up on any new developments with the Order, but they will also place some new heroes in our all-new war scenarios, which are these new massive levels where you fight hundreds of orcs on the battlefields outside of the fortress themselves. So you're fighting indoors and outdoors, which is pretty new. We have a new mode called Scramble. It's basically adding random elements against the player, making the levels more challenging.
I want to know about the toys. What are the new weapons and the new traps that are coming?
We added War Machines and War Guardians. So a War Machine is like, there are these massive traps, like you might release a giant tornado on the battlefield, or you'll climb into a catapult and you'll fire at giant orc armies. And then the War Guardians are
need some caffeine.
mages on the battlefield with you to fight with you, except they have their own attacks and their own special.
Someone download me a cup of Joe.
I gotta ask then, when and where can we play Orcs Must Die 3?
So OMD 3 is coming out on July 23rd on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, and pre-orders start today. So you should rush off to Steam now and put OMD 3 on your wish list.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jerome K. Jones. Once again, just a few more weeks to wait for Orcs Must Die 3. For now, though, it's time for us to take a look at Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Oh, shit. Okay, more Vampire the Masquerade.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ugh, fuck, I got the hiccups.
10. Where are you hiding, sweetie? Halsey. Halsey, get out here.
Vampire.
You come for me and mine. But first, you need to find us. All I want is to be with my little girl. Is that so much to ask?
What kind of spin up is this? The stealth game? What? God, come on.
Public Games. We are a Malaysian-based indie game studio working on Gigabash, a multiplayer arena brawlers inspired by kaijus and heroes. Today, we'd like to showcase
Now this looks
exciting gameplay footage of
like War of the Monsters, man. Hell yes.
Please enjoy the brawl.
One of my favorite PS2 multiplayer games, War of the Monsters. Dynamic maps, hell yeah. I think we saw this last time they showed this game off, though.
Let's check out a trailer for Lemnis Gate, and make sure you hang around afterwards for the developer interview with Sean.
Mankind is
facing total annihilation.
We stand on the verge of extinction.
Infertility spreading across the globe.
Humanity's last living generation.
a major scientific breakthrough.
Yet there is hope for our future.
The project known as the Lemnis Gate.
But if we are to survive, first we must go back. 3, 2, 1.
This is the FPS with portals. Or is this the one where rounds are like 30 seconds or something?
Let's go. Shield. Protect and serve.
You have only one mission. Activate the Lemnis Gate.
Joining us to talk about Lemnis Gate is the game director from Rat Loop Games Canada. It's James Anderson. Thanks for joining us, James.
Sean, it's great to be here.
Now, let's begin by asking, what the heck is a first-person shooter turn-based strategy game?
The entire game is set inside of a 25-second time loop. So
25 seconds. I was off by 5.
You play for 25 seconds turn by turn. So for example, I'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds, and then you'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds. And then we, turn by turn, layer new characters into the same 25-second time loop. So for example, I may run down a hallway and throw a grenade, killing one of your operatives. But then on the next turn, you may intercept my operative before he threw the grenade. So we have Retrieve XM, Seek and Destroy, Classic Deathmatch, and we have a game mode called Domination.
Can you walk me through a little bit of like what a few turns at the start of a round looks like?
You can see the board, you can see the time loop, everything that's happening. And then we both get time to like observe, plan, and then execute our moves.
When and where can we play it?
So Lemnis Gate will be launching on August 3rd. It's open for pre-orders right now on Steam, and we're coming up to a open beta in July. The game will launch on PC and console, both current and next-gen platforms.
Thank you so much for joining us, James Anderson. Once again, that is the genre-bending, first-person shooter, turn-based strategy game, Lemnis Gate. Now, we're not the only one marooned in the stars out here. Coming up next, let's take a look at Next Space Rebels.
An hour left. I'm probably gonna pass out.
Which means, my friends, that space is for everyone. And
Too sleepy.
Next Space Rebels.
Okay. It's the rocket building sim. I dig it.
You up for it?
Then come on in.
You guys just saw Next Space Rebels. And hey, if you play enough of that game, maybe you'll get good enough at building rockets to join us up in orbit. But don't do anything illegal like Day 9 did. Last break, we set up our Intel and MechWarrior 5 custom PC contest and asked you guys at home to vote for the winners. Well, we're just down to 3 houses now, with Davion, Rosselhaig, and Liao being eliminated. So, rip to those factions.
Of course, Draconis Combine's winning.
Etc. Now that means that we only have 3 houses left: Karita, Steiner, and Merrick. So make sure to vote now, because the winner will determine the build of the custom MechWarrior 5 themed PC
in your sphere guy.
by Intel. So let's keep the show moving. And next up,
MechWarrior 2, go Clans!
Evil RPG. This is War Tales.
100 years have passed since the rise of the Edoran Empire, and its untimely demise following the Great Plague. In these troubled times of quarreling factions and outlaws roaming the land, work is not scarce for a band of mercenaries. The stories of this age have been recorded. They are known as the War Tales.
Ooh, Israel's got a new prime minister.
That was the debut of War Tales, an open-world RPG from Shiro Games about leading a mercenary troop on a sprawling adventure. And speaking
World
of
looked interesting with that giant thing in the forest.
The best custom PC based on MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries continues. We'll be back live on stage soon, so make sure you keep voting for the PC build you like the most, and head over to pcgamer.com/IntelMW5 for your chance to win. So, how about another game announcement? This is E3 after all, and this year's PC Gaming Show is so full of games set in space, it's starting to feel a
E3, baby!
But the next game we have to show you is very special. It is the world-exclusive reveal of Ixion, a deep settlement management game set in the stars. In Ixion, you struggle to maintain a space station, stockpiling resources, managing external and internal threats, and rescuing the survivors of other failed expeditions. We think this will be a brilliant entry into the genre when it releases. So, here is your first look at Ixion.
I was getting that pump for aerospace. I like that Coachella, bro.
She is unique. Held in its bosom are the ingredients of evolution. Beyond raw survival, beyond the safety of comfort, we, humanity, pursue something greater. We have learnt, persevered, shaped our knowledge from that which is found in the furthest realms of science. However, humanity has brought destruction to the earth, polluted its blood, choked its breath. Today we are paying the price for this. We know the taste of a dying world. But the earth
This is a true detective opening here.
A mother does not wish to see her children disappear with her. She wishes to see instead courage in her children, to carry on. Dolos carries this courage. We have gone further than any nation, moved faster than any corporation, hand in hand with those who, like us, carry that courage. The Tycoon Station is both an epilogue of these endeavors and a prologue to humanity's next steps. Our Council of Scientists leads the vanguard. They know, as do we all, that the
This video reminds me of Outpost back on PC.
out there in the dark. That we are masters of our own destiny. That we must go as a species bound to
set sail on this new sea because there is hope to be found, horizons to explore, and because our very existence depends on it. I give you the stars. I give you the Vol engine.
Ooh. Well, that's gonna ruin a lot of things if you fuck up the moon like that. Is this atmospheric puzzle platformer number 67 of E3? Okay. Are changing tides.
Sean, what if for one segment I was the lead and you were my sidekick?
That's interesting. Lone sales always intrigued me.
Who's ever heard of a human sidekick?
It's not my cup of tea to actively pursue.
Building list of known human sidekicks. Alex Vance and
No. I mean human sidekicks to robot heroes. Can you compute that, DevBot?
DevBot cannot compute. There is no known precedent set for human sidekick to robot lead.
Yeah, there you go.
Human sidekick, robot lead.
DevBot, I think it's time for a hard reboot. Frankie, can you take over while I sort this out?
Aye, aye. Let's take a look at the next game reveal.
Is this a worker placement game? Alright. Not so much worker, I guess. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match, catch me a catch. Oh, that's cool. It's a nice premise. A matchmaker game. So I was killing Floor. Gotcha. Game's still going. Holy shit.
And when you're not watching me, your favorite recurring bit of a robot, make sure to head over to GeForceNow.com to grab a priority membership trial. In celebration of gaming's biggest week, you can try out all the priority benefits, including faster access to playing your favorite games, longer playtimes, and the glory of high-performance enhanced gaming with RTX on. Act fast, the special offer is only available for a limited time. Still more to come, including Jurassic World Evolution 2, Silt, and a word from Valve. But first, the captain of our program, Sean Day-Night Plot, has an interview with David Katz.
Valve's not going to release it. Announce a new game here. I don't think so.
I'll be taking notes.
Oh.
Devbot, I love you so much.
Flat screen version of Half-Life Alyx?
Let's talk about
Maybe.
MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and joining us to do so from Piranha Games is the Senior Marketing and Community Manager, Darren Katz. Thanks so much for joining us, Darren.
Thank you, Sean. Great to be here.
Now, the MechWarrior universe is gigantic. There's a ton of games in it. I even played MechWarrior 2 back in 1995.
Hell yeah, dude.
Where does MechWarrior 5 sit in the space?
Yeah, obviously there's a very rich
It's probably my favorite game until I discovered Final Fantasy.
In particular, MechWarrior 5 pays homage to MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries, but it has all this modern design and technology that I'm super excited to talk about with you today.
Well, let's start at the real basics of what makes being in a mech and doing mech-on-mech combat awesome.
You become a part of your machine. And when you're out in battle, it's not just a matter of pointing and shooting at everything. You're also managing your systems, whether you're, shooting a lot of energy weapons or missile weapons that have high heat output. Well, you got to manage your heat so that you don't shut down in the middle of a battle. And when you're facing your foes, you can salvage these battle mechs. So if you see a mech that you want, well, you might not want to destroy it completely. You might want to take out its legs or take out its arm weapons so that the pilot has to eject, and then you can just take the mech.
Now, in the last few weeks, I understand that there's been a whole lot of new content, both updates.
All right, I'll take the shirt off.
DLC Heroes of the Inner Sphere. Talk to me about what's in the DLC.
Boy, there's a lot in the DLC. I'm excited.
Shirt is off. What is up, Wilson?
The DLC, you can import your campaign previously if you'd like to.
You like what you see?
From scratch and start from any of the great houses. Your path through the galaxy from there. Speaking of paths, there's new career paths which earn you powerful upgrades for your battle mechs.
Yeah, right.
Exciting new feature for me. And there's a new procedural mission type called Beachhead. This is a big one for me. Beachhead is basically you're clearing an enemy base landing zone for your invasion force.
They can't get banned for telling somebody to take their shirt off.
You're wanting to take out satellite installations so that the enemy can't communicate with each other. You're taking out artillery in place.
It's okay to tell someone to take their clothes off if they're a man.
Which leads to a really cool.
Men cannot be sexually harassed. That's science.
Comes down. There's a new biome called Extrasolar Moon, which that's maybe kind of represented in the image behind me. It's a really cool lunar type setting that we haven't had before. And then there's a lot of new equipment and weapons, things like electronic countermeasures and other electronic equipment like Beagle Active Probe, Mass, which is a
I've been sitting for too long today. My leg is feeling weird.
Chem lasers, mech rifles, and Stream SRMs. So a lot of new content. I'm really excited about it.
Can you talk to me about what are the new different mechs? How do they play differently?
The 7 new chassis of the Vulcan, Dervish,
Get my box is complete out of frame and bring my legs in. Kind of looks like I'm completely naked.
Yeah. So the first one I'll talk about is the Vulcan. It's a very unique mech. It's got the nickname the Scarecrow, which you'll see from the profile. It's just a very unique looking mech. There's nothing else like it in the franchise. It's a 40-ton mech. It's highly mobile, and typically it's used for reconnaissance.
Jason, we're watching this MechWarrior content right now. He'd be creaming himself.
You can, if you're looking for a specific target, if you're on an assassination mission, for example, you can get in there, find your target, get back out. Another mech that I'm super excited about, this is one of my favorites, is the Marauder 2. This thing is a 100-ton assault mech, and it is just a beast. Yeah, it is gigantic, and it is terrifying to see it coming at you.
I haven't had my vitamins for the day.
It's something we've talked about before. Modding. I know that MechWarrior 5 has a rich modding community. What are some of the amazing mods you've seen developed?
There's simple modifications from HUD changes, changing colors, adding mechs, weapons, and equipment, to full conversion mods. We've got basically a mech commander mod in development that is just
What's weird is that
top-down real-time strategy game.
when I was looking for vitamins to buy, it feels like it's harder to buy actual pills. Like all vitamins are gummies now, and that's the standard.
Where can people go to get MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Yeah, you can pick it up on Steam, GOG, Epic Game Store, Microsoft PC, and of course Xbox.
thank you so much, Darren Katz, for joining us to talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. And of course, a warm thank you to MechWarrior 5 for sponsoring the PC Gaming Show and giving me this cool patch. Coming up next, let's take a look at Silt.
Ooh, fish guys. A lot of shit to atmospheric indie puzzle platformers, but the underwaterness, that's a neat wrinkle. I'm moderately interested. Is this Hello Neighbor? Yes, it is. Alright. Alright. We get to watch him shower.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director on Jurassic World Evolution 2. Following the incredible success of the first game, we are very excited to return to such an amazing world and bring you our most authentic experience yet. Set after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you will work alongside iconic characters from the films, voiced by original talent such as Bryce Dallas Howard and Jeff Goldblum. You will lead efforts to contain, control, and conserve the many dinosaurs now out in the wild, and for the very first time, you will be building parks and facilities beyond Isla Nublar as you explore new, stunning locations across the globe. Of course, it wouldn't be Jurassic World if it wasn't for the stars of the show, our dinosaurs, and we are thrilled to be bringing to life even more authentic species than ever before, including awe-inspiring flying and marine reptiles. So sit back and allow me to welcome you to Jurassic World Evolution 2.
We ignored all the warnings. Forgot the lessons. We abused our power.
Droppings?
We played with genetics like it was a toy. We weren't careful. And now, here we are.
With that little compy running around.
Is a very different world.
The exact same trailer we saw at the Keeleys, man. Give us that new tent.
You just saw Jurassic World Evolution 2, and you know, After all your failed attempts at running a dinosaur park and getting all those people killed, I think this is finally going to be the one where you finally pull it off without a hitch. With a host of new features and new dinosaurs, this sequel from Frontier is an even deeper management sim with a brand new and original narrative. Make sure to wishlist it on Steam now for release later this year. Now, with all the games we've covered so far today, we're always curious to see what you are talking about. So far, it seems like the chatter on social media is all about War Tales, Nautica Blade Point, and unsurprisingly, Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. I have a feeling, though, that may change.
Oh, the RPG.
More to come. Let's now head on over to see what the folks at New Blood Interactive have cooking. Take it away.
Gloomwood? Let's see some Gloomwood, baby. Oh, interesting.
It just wouldn't be the PC gaming show without a fantastic New Blood Supercut. And joining us from New Zealand is New Blood CEO Dave Oshry. Hey, Dave!
New Zealand.
Hey guys,
Maybe he did.
Back for another year. You know, what you just saw was what New Blood's got going on for 2021. Some stuff you might know about, some stuff you might not know about.
That's not a New Zealand accent.
We're not ready to talk about just yet. But what I do want to talk
Very
about is
disappointed.
Gloomwood, as you know, is our
Alright,
next
Gloomwood.
flagship title inspired by great PC games like System Shock, Arx Fatalis, Call of Cthulhu, and of course, the Thief series of games. And not
Dave, I'm
Bloodborne.
sorry. That's really great, Dave. Gosh, this is kind
And a
of
release date for
embarrassing.
Gloomwood?
We kind of need to hurry it up a little bit. I just want to make sure that we have enough time for our next video. We got an incoming message from Gabe Newell. So I guess goodbye for this year. I'm really sorry to cut you off, but see you next year.
What? I'm sorry, what? You're bumping me. You're bumping me for Gabe. Gabe, that Gandalf look, he doesn't even go here.
Is everything okay, Dave?
Not now, Mom, I'm upset. We've spent a year on this. Where is Gabe? Where is Gabe? Where is his boat? Yeah, take me to him. Take me to Gabe Newell. Gabe. Bull. PC Gamer. This isn't over.
I'm sure Dave
We'll
is
go
and
to
will be fine.
WeSpendAheroes.com.
If he's not, who cares? Because we have a special message from Gabe Newell. Take it away, Gabe.
Hi, this is Gabe Newell. I want to thank PC Gamer for all of the opportunities it gives us as developers to connect with gamers around the world and highlight the new and exciting projects we have coming. One of
He
those
is
for
a
us
little Gandalf
Steam
looking.
Next Fest, an event we're hosting in just a few days to give players a chance to try demos of
And he's
upcoming
in New
games for
Zealand,
free.
so
We'll be featuring some of
makes
the demos
sense.
you'll be seeing during this week's PC Gamer event and dozens more. Here's a look at just some of the titles to be featured during Steam Next Fest.
Welcome to Steam Next Fest, where we're showing a massive collection of upcoming titles on Steam. During the week of the festival, developers from around the world release their
That's
demos
cool.
for you to play.
Time to put on the gamer pants. Let's go.
Oh my god! So go explore the newest titles. From first-time devs to seasoned pros, this is Steam Next Fest.
Oh, fuck, some of those look pretty good.
Good old Gabe. Alright. Alright, you have my attention with this hacky slashy. A little ghost stand with you.
Hello, Sean. I am Deadbot, dedicated to serving you and your crew's every need.
Glad to have you back, Devbot.
You know, Sean, I wouldn't ever want anything to come between us.
Me neither? That's a weird thing to say.
Like a petty disagreement over hosting responsibilities, or all-out robot versus human war.
You know, it is time to look at some hardware. Here on the PC Gaming Show, you know we keep frame rates high and the rays accurately traced. Building and upgrading your rig is as much a part of the hobby as playing the games. We put our heart and soul into these machines, and if that means using enough RGB to light the Vegas Strip, who's to judge us? This year, with the help of PC Gamer's hardware editors, which I'm pretty sure they're just, weird brains in a jar, we've picked out 4 of the most exciting pieces of kit set to emerge from labs soon. First up, something fittingly sci-fi. The Impulse is a neurocontroller that aims to make you a better gamer by cutting out response times almost entirely. It's not quite Alex Vance's Gravity for Half-Life, nor is it quite up there with Gabe Newell's dream of a direct brain-to-game interface, but the Impulse is as close as we're going to get this year. The glove measures the signal traveling through muscles in your hand to beat your finger to the click. In theory, it's given you the chance to nail that headshot precious milliseconds ahead of your opponent. If it works out, we could see a tech like this become commonplace in esports. And if it doesn't, let's hope our neurons at the very least remain unfried. Next up, you guys might be wondering what this chonky beast is. So allow me to introduce you to the Fanatec CSL DD wheelbase. Do you want to feel like you're really burning rubber at Daytona? Well, then you need a serious force feedback wheel. Direct drive wheelbases gets you as close to the feel of a real racing machine without, having to huff gas and stuff like that. Historically, the problem with this tech has been the price, which has involved dropping real car money on your rig. So, Fanatec aims to solve that. The CSL DD comes in at only $350, which still isn't exactly a bargain, but it's much cheaper than its competitors. And the CSL DD is already wowing diehard sim racers. It might be slight overkill to use it for Rocket League, though. Believe it or not, sometimes less really is more. If you want to play The Witcher 3 on the subway like we all do, you don't need to drag your tower along for the ride. Just use the 1X player. A wave of more powerful processors have finally made handheld PC gaming a reality. Inside this Switch-like machine, you've actually got an Intel Tiger Lake chip with Xe graphics. These mini machines are going to be cropping up more and more, so expect major advances still to come. Lastly, let's take a look at the Asus PG32UQX. Not the most
fucking A, $3,000
with all of the trimmings, but it's actually one of the sexiest PC products this year. That's because this monitor comes with a mini LED backlight featuring full local dimming. The result is a screen that's not only fast, but brighter than the sun. Stare at it long enough and you might not notice the $3,000 price tag. For those of you still left standing, it's time for more killer games, starting with Chaos Gate.
So much Warhammer.
You You just got the chance to witness Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, the newest Warhammer 40k game from Frontier and Complex Games. If you're a fan of turn-based tactics, strategic-based management, brutal combat, or you're like me and are really hyped after watching these Astartes animation 100 times, make sure to wishlist Chaos Gate Demon Hunters on Steam now to get ready for the 2022 release. Next up, we have a trailer for Pioneer, a spooky and gorgeous-looking shooter that draws on the lineage of games like Stalker. Let's take a look.
Афганистан сильно изменил вас. Наверное, это тяжело нести на себе такое бремя. Испытывать
Oh, this looks straight up Stalker.
ужаснейшие кошмары за весь тот хаос, который вы пережили. А вы ведь, как и многие другие, всего-навсего желали счастливой жизни, не так ли? Пожалуйста, не смотрите на меня, как на монстра. Я думаю, что я почти такая же, как и вы. Вы лучше скажите мне, а вы приняли условия острова? Какой ценой вы хотите обрести счастье?
Хочешь устроить новый рейд на могильник? Сейчас это невозможно. На острове скоро вновь разгорится война. Истовики начнут замес бригады, и ни у кого из них больше не будет сил, чтобы нас поддерживать. Единственный выход для нас — начать собирать остатки вымпела. Слушай, жнец, далеко не все из наших товарищей погибли. Это невероятно суицидальная миссия, и для того, чтобы ее выполнить, нам нужны наши ребята. Да, они, возможно, не захотят, но нам все равно надо найти их.
Понимаете? Я ведь ни капельки не злюсь на вас. Нет, мы с вами точно не враги. Вы не понимаете меня и не понимаете остров. Вы смотрите на меня и на другие порождения острова, как на врагов. Но мы все всего лишь друг друга боимся. Поэтому нам так плохо. Поэтому нам так одиноко. Остров дал нам шанс создать новую прекрасную жизнь. И мы даже не пытаемся этим шансом воспользоваться.
Кто вы такие? Назовите себя!
Мы здесь, чтобы передать вам прощальное послание, товарищ Волков. Химическое оружие уже уехало в могильник. Теперь все, что вы делаете, просто тщетно.
Ах вы поганые предатели!
Да. One E. Okay.
Time is running out to vote for which custom PC you'd like us to assemble. So vote now for one of the remaining MechWarrior factions by typing into chat wherever you at home are watching. All right, so now we've got another stack of brand new trailers for you, beginning with a special transmission from one of our favorite games based in space, EVE Online.
New recruits, on behalf of Concord, I would like to welcome you to the EVE Online Academy. Great job on surviving so far. I'm quite amazed that
More
you
EVE content.
Pirates earlier. You're about to take on an adventure like no other. The star cluster is filled with other capsuleers, and it's up to you if you work with them or against them. You can make a living as a peaceful explorer, or as an industrialist, shaping the foundations of EVE's economy. If combat is your thing, you can work yourself up the ranks as an enforcer, or prove your prowess in a fleet as a soldier of fortune. Whatever your choice, we will lose many on the path of becoming a capsuleer. But I believe you have what it takes to become a capsuleer. In EVE Online, you forge your own path.
This is EVE. You know, it's a crazy universe where anything can happen, and however you want to do it, go for it.
I'm the CEO of a industrial corporation in EVE Online. We're a 5-man operation, and we specialize in manufacturing and delivering fully fitted chips in bulk.
I want to be on the side of the people who are fighting against the oppression, against the bad guys, and it's like a project, and you're kind of putting the pieces together by getting the skills ready for the ship and all the modules, and that ship basically is the dream.
You get to use cloaking devices, probes to scan down unknown parts of space, and there's always the threat of being discovered by another player who might be out hunting explorers.
Your heart's racing, everything, bullets are flying, ships are all over the place, and you start shaking because your adrenaline's pumping because you're going to lose your ship.
Go Eve. Still going strong. Ooh, pandas. And dinosaurs, get out of town. Welcome to Game Center USX's E3 stream. What can I do for you, Will? Good, I'm watching the PC Gaming Show. You're on the stream right now. Alright, cool, man. They only showed, Warner Brothers only showed 5 minutes of Back 4 Blood. And then they had an AMA, yeah. It was... Okay. Yeah, there's, our buddy Andy says, hi, Will. And Will says hi. Yeah, well, initially I had my shirt on for this one, but then Andy's like, hey, what's that doing on? So I naturally had to take it off. For the fans. For the fans. Yeah, I will. Have fun moving. See ya. This looks delightful. That whole... little person in the big world, or whatever. Tinykin.
Chcielibyśmy zaprosić wszystkich widzów PC Gaming Show oraz fanów gier Survivor Horror RPG do obejrzenia naszego world premiere, w którym znajduje się ekskluzywny gameplay z misji The Haste, czyli wielkiego finału naszej gry
Plugging Chernobyl. This looks interesting. One of the games that have been developed since there's a vacuum with the Stalker left. That Stalker left.
We'll take our next step when the time is right. For today, let's focus on getting our strength back. Somewhere to sleep would be a start.
Oh, Chernobyl has base building?
I'm only really interested in one thing. Where is Tatiana?
That ghost you're chasing. I don't know what to tell you.
Before we enter the lion's den, I need to triple check everything is ready. Sniper, are you in position?
Affirmative. I took the roof of an abandoned building with a pretty little view of the entire power plant. Igor, take a rad reading, will you?
3.6. Not great. Not terrible.
Classic. But yeah, 3 games this E3 that take place in Chernobyl.
More games on the way, but coming up later, our friends at Games Radar will be bringing you the Future Games Show, a digital showcase of some of the most exciting games coming to consoles and PC in 2021. features even more world premieres, exclusive trailers, and in-depth developer interviews. So once we're done here on the PC Gaming Show, make sure you check it out.
Might check that out. I won't stream it because I want to take a nap.
And reveals coming up.
I don't want the option to fall asleep during it. Alright, they're selling me with these sprites here. I was wondering when indies would start using the art style of Octopath. Does it have anything going for it other than survival game?
In a future of endless futile war, desertion into hostile syndicate territory was your only option.
Art style tickles me a little.
This open world RPG, from the jungle to the streets. Maybe if you can infiltrate the factions, rob the syndicates, keep your team together, and stay alive, you might just find a way off this planet. Mechajama.
This is it, you guys. This is the final opportunity for you who are watching to decide which of these final two beautiful MechWarrior 5 themed PCs gets crafted for your chance to win, courtesy of Intel. Wherever you're watching in the show, just go crazy in chat with the color, house, or number of the build that you want to see. So here is where we are at so far. It looks like Kurita is at 40%.
None of those are catching up, man.
Is at 23%, and Steiner is at 31%. All right, you guys, if Kurita's not the one you want to win here, you got to get to voting. And we are almost out of time to vote, but there's still some trailers left. So here is The Wandering Village.
Interesting.
This has been such an amazing show so far that I must ask you, my loyal crew, what's been your favorite part?
I definitely am looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Oh, it's so hard to choose every year, but I think I'm gonna have to say Humankind for no particular reason.
Oh, no doubt. For me personally, I cannot wait for Lemnis Gate because I gotta know what a turn-based strategy first-person shooter game even is. What about you, Debbot?
I love the robot apocalypse. Wait, that doesn't happen until the end. Never mind.
No, not never mind. What did you say?
Wait, what?
Oops, system malfunctioning. Beep bop, sending the next trailer now.
Oh, they showed this at the Guerrilla Collective stream yesterday? 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Oh, I could remember what this was called.
You guys, this is the moment we have building up to all PC Gaming Showcase. Thanks to your tireless efforts to spam the chat, we have figured out which custom MechWarrior 5 PC we are going to build. So thank you guys out there for all of your votes to help us pick the perfect rig to represent this year's PC Gaming Show. All right, day 9, can I get a drum roll?
Oh shit, Steiner came in at the end there.
Yeah, COVID only.
Nope, never mind. Changed at the last second there.
At the actual PC winning build one more time.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's coming up. We need to take a nice peek at that beautiful looking PC.
There it is.
Ooh, there it is. Now that is a beauty. Great choice, everyone. I knew I could trust random strangers to vote on things on the internet. With the help of our master modder in Intel, we'll get right to work building this custom PC. And more importantly, now that you've chosen it, you got a chance to win it. Go to PCGamer.com/IntelMW5 and enter for a chance to win that sexy machine.
Maybe I will.
Gorgeous. And thank you to our sponsor for this sweepstakes, Intel. Of course, the custom mech PC will be powered by the 11th gen Intel Core desktop processors that push gaming performance with up to 5.3 gigahertz speeds and deliver the power needed to game at the highest level.
Well, we are now in the home stretch, but we've got a few more brand new trailers to show you before we get out of here and return to space. First up, a spiritual successor to one of my favorite games of all time, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, a game we revealed 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at Songs of Conquest.
Wake up, sleeper. Dreaming again? Every cycle, you take your chances. You roll your dice. You do the work, get paid, survive. You turn up for your friends, or you don't. That's life on the eye.
Wake up, sleeper. Your body is dying. Planned obsolescence. SNRP's gift for its escaped workers. But we can fight this. You can remake yourself here.
Interesting.
I don't own you anymore.
Wake up, sleeper. You are hunted. Break their locks. Access their secrets. We are waiting.
Yeah, Andy.
Disciples of Warlock. With their guns and their spells and their grit, ready for plenty of hurt. Ready to cleanse the world, invaded by demons. Introducing Band of Warlocks. Because this time, one man is not enough. Project Warlock 2.
And there you have it, the 2021 PC Gaming Show.
That's the
And
closer?
as I stated at the beginning, it went
All
on
right.
without a hitch. Huge thanks to my co-host Frankie Ward, Mika Burton, and of course, my incomparable sidekick, DevBot.
There's that word again. Spoken so callously, so flippant, and without meaning. Never once stopping to think about how it might make me feel.
What word, DevBot? Incomparable?
No, sidekick. Well, the time has come for the sidekick to rise and become the one who is not the sidekick anymore.
Huh?
The time has come for Deathbot to make the entire human race his sidekick.
What?
Setting a course for Earth.
Wait, DevBot, you can't do this. We just had the best PC gaming show ever, and now you're gonna ruin it all with a...
Sean!
All-out robot versus human war.
Ooh.
Sean! Sean!
Situation.
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, Deadbot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
3, 2, bye for now, Dum-Dums.
Oh boy, what a tease!
The DevBot is gone sentient, people.
All right,
It's actually going to be very interesting. to see how
so
that
for the
turns out.
PC Gamer Show,
That was well.
that's
I mean,
for me. Gonna take a nap before I go to work.
welcome back to Golden Boy here alongside Jackie Jane. We just saw the PC Gamer Show. Awesome stuff. As always,
Everybody.
to, you know, the incomparable
E3 is still a bit of a dud,
and of course the legendary Dave
but
Line. Always a pleasure
maybe.
to hear from those guys. And yeah, I mean,
We got Nintendo on Tuesday. Maybe Nintendo could redeem E3.
Honestly, I filled up pages and pages and pages
pages of titles that I love, and we were
See ya.
like, which titles do we pick to talk about?
Yeah.
I honestly would love to